Hello Centipede. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my everyday makeup routine, which has been making its waves all across social media, and I'm so excited to be showing you guys. First things up, we're gonna brush our teeth. I hate when I have a pretty face and funky ass breath. We need to be for real with ourselves. The inside of that mouth needs to be clean before we do our makeup routine. First off, we're gonna do skincare, and I believe skincare is one of the most important steps. It sets the foundation. You can't build a house if your foundation is fucked. So I'm going in with the Elements exfoliating pads, getting rid of any texture, making my skin nice and smooth before the makeup application, giving myself some lip gloss because I don't want my lips being chappy and all up in my mouth. Then we're gonna go in with a moisturizer. This is my favorite moisturizer because my skin feels like heaven afterwards, but I know these products are a little bit on the expensive side, and you can use Pond's. I am a big fan of Pond's. This is a step that people tend to forget. Music. You have to set the vibe before you start doing your makeup. Your makeup can tell when you're not vibing. If you sad, depressed, and angry, your makeup is gonna look like that. I'm telling you. I'm going to go in with Fenty's primer. Y'all, I've been rocking with this primer since it's dropped. I don't know another primer besides Fenty. Actually, I do. I tried the Milk Grip. Girl, that Milk Grip was not gripping shit. Something people do not tell you about primer is that you need a lot of it. Y'all, I was doing one drop of primer and then wondering why my makeup was not staying, because you're not using enough. Now it's time for brows. I'm using the Milk Brow Gel and the Trio Brow Pen. I just recently let go of the 2016 brows, and the best way I can describe these eyebrows is you're faking it. You are filling in your eyes with fake little hairs. So you're gonna do one line, and one line until it just looks full. I then sometimes clean it up by doing a line underneath, but I used to just shape out my brows and then fill them in to the best of my abilities. This is the Trio Brow Pen, but I'm also a very proud and strong user of the Benefit Brow Pencil. The only reason why I'm not using the Benefit Brow Pencil is because I lost it. I don't know where it goes. They're always running off, but here are my brows. I have a very particular order in which I do things. I did my brows after I did my primer because it allowed my primer to set. Now I'm going to spray my face with my setting spray and allow that to dry. This is a 1-layer face. Koya, what is a 1-layer face? We're only going to do 1 layer of makeup and everything else is added on top of it. Now, when I am going out for events or something a little bit more special, spectacular, I do a full face of foundation and then I build on top of that. But for my everyday makeup, I just think that's a waste of time. I think that's a waste of product, and I'm not gonna do it. So the way that I do this is I do concealer, contour, and then I fill in the spaces with foundation. In order to do this look, your foundation has to match your skin, because the difference when your foundation does not match, it looks very, very patchy because you don't have a full face of foundation to cover everything and then building on top. You only have certain parts of your face with foundation. You are going to want to study your face. I think this is the best technique for studying your face because you can see what you want to be highlighted, what you want to be darkened, and what spaces are going to be left alone. This is my concealer placement. Now, our concealer placement could be very different. I want my eyes to be more lifted, my nose more snatched, my chin to give the illusion of being more sharp. And now we're going to go into contour. This right here is the holy grail of a contour product. I got it from Dollar General and I have had it since the 10th grade, I believe. It has been rocking with me and has not given up on me. I love this contour product. It's the perfect shade for my face. It has enough redness. It's just all around the perfect. Do not knock drugstore because it doesn't matter how much money I have or how much money I spend. This right here is my go-to product. Now, I use it to where my face naturally has contour, and I use it to sharpen up my chin. Now we're going to take a flat brush and a foundation of your choosing. I'm using Fenty Beauty, and you're going to fill in those empty spaces. I use 1 drop per corner or per section, so it's a drop up top, a drop down bottom, and then it repeats on the other side. I flatten it out. I don't just place it, because we're going to allow this to dry, and you don't want it to dry patchy. You want to make sure that you are filling in all of the nooks and crannies like it is a coloring book. As you can tell, I was vibing down. I love when I'm doing my makeup and I can just relax and we're not rushing. So you always want to make sure you give yourself enough time to get that perfect beat and that perfect face, because if you're rushing, I'm telling you, it's like your makeup just knows. Anyways, here come my twin. Turn it up in a row. Hey. Okay, so I'm going to continue filling in my face on all sides. I feel like a teacher teaching y'all geometry or something, but I promise you guys, it is very, very simple. And I do believe there is probably makeup maps on how you should place your makeup depending on your face. I now go up top and I clean up my brows just to make them look a little more structured with foundation. Do not use concealer on the top of your brows. You're going to get halo brow. I then blend this out, because guess what, guys? I don't put foundation on my forehead. I know the makeup gurus hate that, but I do not put makeup on my forehead. I can't do it. It's just, there's just no point in putting makeup on my forehead for me. I then take a little bit of concealer and I go up under the brow and I clean up underneath. It just makes everything look a lot more snatched and a lot more clean and a lot more put together. I blend that out as well, because I'm not going to be covering my entire eye with concealer, and I don't want it to have that odd concealer mark under my eye. Now the hard part is done. Once you have all of your liquids and everything laid down, it's time to spray. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush spray, and we're going to wait and let that dry. But if you don't have time to wait, dry it with your hands. In fact, grab some paper and dry your face with paper. And if you really don't have time, grab a blow dryer and dry that face. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I don't think you're ready for this. Now it is time to blend. I'm using a very densely packed brush to blend out the light parts of my face. I'm bringing that concealer up onto my eye, and I'm going to repeat on both sides of my face. The more it dries, the less likely your brush is to pick up products, so the more full coverage your face is going to be. I'm already using a very full coverage concealer, and that is what allows me to get this full makeup look at the end, because all of the products I'm using are designed to be full coverage. Now, if you are using light coverage or sheer coverage products, you're not going to get a full face look. This right here is my favorite brush. This is the Eco Tools Densely Packed Brush. You are going to use that to blend out your foundation and get rid of that line of demarcation between your concealer and the foundation. You do not want that line right there. As you can tell, I'm kind of going on top of the line and buffing that out and blending it very well. I go over my chin because I don't want my chin to be too sharp. This is now a densely packed angled brush, and I blend my contour. My contour is blended downwards on my chin, and it is blended upwards on my cheekbones. That way I have a more snatched, lifted appearance. I don't want my face to look dragged down. If your arm isn't hurting, baby, is you blending. But here I am blending it up and then blending my face down. You do not want any of those lines to be seen, and this is what the base looks like with just the liquid products. We already getting somewhere. I use the exact same contour stick that I used on my face, and I do my nose contour. I have a very detailed tutorial of my nose contour on TikTok that kind of talks as I do it, but I took this technique from the drag queens to where I drag my contour up into under my eyebrow, into my brow bone, to really snatch my nose. If you don't know where to place the lines for your contour, you can do the opposite. You can go from the brow bone down onto your nose versus going from your nose into your eyebrow bone. That's just a helpful tidbit. We all have different noses, so you have to find which contour style is going to work for you, but I do feel a rule of thumb is to go from your eyebrow and down. Now, these are two totally different concealers. You might not be able to tell, but this one that I'm using is a lot lighter. I saw someone ask me about my deep eye bags. Usually I just kind of let the first base be the end all be all, but now I'm going to go in and show you how I get rid of those dark eye bags to the best of my ability. I don't have dark eye bags, I have deep set eyes. I put in a dot into where I want to hide the shadows of the bag. So that is around my nose, that is the corner of my eye, on each side. And then I take the brush immediately and I kind of blend that out. I don't use a lot of it because I don't want to have the bright under eye look as of right now. I'm just kind of going for an everyday makeup. I'm going outside, somebody might see me look. And the reason why you want to go in and start blending is because you do not want this to dry down harshly. You want it to spread and dry. So once I kind of spread it to where I want it to be, I do allow it to dry on my face before going in with a brush and blending it. Now I'm getting ready for my lip combo, so I'm going to be removing my lip gloss so my lips won't be too smooth. And then I go in with the exact same brush I used earlier for my concealer and I just blend out the face. I learned this technique from an amazing YouTuber. I'm going to link her video in the description if you want to see her in-depth tutorial, but it's changed my life. Next up is the Huda Beauty powder. There's a difference between setting your face and baking your face. Right now we are setting the face. You want to take a little bit of powder and you want to press that in all over where your highlighted spots are going to be, and even on your foundation spots sometime. I'm simply using it all over my concealer and where I want it to set. And now I'm going to take my setting spray and spray that in, allow that to dry, and then it's going to be baking time. I bake after all of my powders have been put down. So this is my highlighting powder. I only highlight my nose and only on the natural parts of where my nose was already highlighted at. Then I take my Juvia's Palace blush and I pack on the blush. I do not have a problem with too much blush because we're going to put powder right on top of it and it's going to kind of wash that blush out. Also, blush is kind of the first product that leaves your face for some odd reason, so I'm fine with packing it on. Now I'm going to take my Laura Mercier powder and this is baking. We're going to leave the powder to sit on the skin for an extended period of time. I place it under my eyes to make sure my eyes do not crack, under my chin, on top of my chin, on my nose. Sometimes if I really want a snatched contour look, I will go directly under where I place contour. Now we're going to sit and stare at our phone for a very long period of time, just waiting. Then we brush it off with a densely packed brush just to remove all of the product before we go in with bronzer. Because if you're like Koya, you look washed out, this is where bronzer comes in and allows that color to be brought back into your face. So never be scared of a powder. I place the bronzer on the underside of my chin. I place it where I put the contour. I even go on my forehead to give my forehead an appearance of looking a little bit smaller than what it already is. And just because we don't put foundation on our forehead, we want that to blend with the perimeter of our face. Then I take the bronzer palette and I go on the eye just to add a little bit of dimension to the eyes. I don't normally do color on the eyes. I'm just not a color type of girl. So as of right now, this is what we're working with. I go on my nose and I sharpen it up using the contour powder as well. This is a 99-cent lip pencil. I just take the lip pencil and I outline my natural lips. I do overline my lips a little bit. That is why I do not put contour on top of my lips to give them the appearance of looking bigger, because if I do that, then my upper lip is going to look dark and it's going to look like I have a mustache. So I just take my dark brown lip pencil and I overline just a tad bit, and I make sure I blend that out. I want my lips to have a little bit of a Bratz doll appearance. So the upper top of the lip is overlined, and then I kind of underline or line directly on my actual lip, and I repeat at the bottom. This is the Fenty Heat lip gloss. I love Fenty lip glosses. They are so smooth and they last such a long time. They're my go-to and my faves of all lip glosses. This is my favorite mascara. This is the YSL mascara. I have stopped wearing lashes because they irritate my eyes a lot, so I do not wear them as often, but this mascara gets me through the door. Oh my gosh, look at my face. She looks so good. Now it's time to remove the headband. Anyways, child, y'all knew that wasn't my real hair. Y'all knew that whole time. Don't be trying to act surprised. So now look at the face. I'm loving this face. I'm loving this beat. I'm loving this makeup. One of my best makeup days ever in my opinion, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank y'all for watching and tuning in and joining. And if you have any questions, any products, any links, even the hair is always going to be in the description as always, and I do get commission from those links, so use them links. As always, love you. Mwah. Bye, Centipede. We are the crystal gems. We'll always save the day. And if you think we can't, we'll always find a way. That's why the people of this world